Today we're going to talk about the 3 core stories that every coach should have on their website. When I first started working with coaches telling stories, there were a few core stories that I noticed came out again and again and again. And it was interesting because these stories are actually the core stories that I feel like are the most impactful in people's lives. So as I worked with one client, we were recording a 4-part video series that walked their clients through why they should invest in this process. And it was interesting, as we went through these 4 parts, this 4-part video series, I noticed a few elements that started to emerge. The next time I started recording videos, I started asking questions and I noticed a few more of these same elements emerge. And as I worked with clients again and again and again, these same stories kept coming up over and over and over again. And I thought, this is fascinating. And actually, when you look at these stories, it's interesting that they come up in all sorts of different other elements, different other areas of life. They are part of storytelling. They are these core stories that make an impact on people's lives and make an impact on the world. So, what are these 3 stories? Well, the first story I like to call the origin story. So when I think about an origin story, I like to think about where something begins. When we are talking about coaching, oftentimes that is where someone's journey into coaching begins. It might be how they got into coaching, why the work that they're doing is powerful in their own life, and why they decided to take that work into other people's lives. So a perfect example of an origin story might be this.
I was driving around with my little babies in the back of the car in the middle of the night, crying as new moms do. I was talking to one of my friends and she's like, "You have to listen to this coach." And I was like, okay, but I'm a therapist, so I don't really know what she's gonna say. And so I started listening to her podcast and I turned it right off. I was like, no, because she told me, "Your husband's not in charge of your feelings." And I'm like, "Listen, lady, he does this, he does this, he does this." But I just kept coming back and listening and listening. And finally, I was like, you know what? She's onto something here. And then I signed up for certification right away.
What's it like to feel in full exploration?
As much as I love therapy, and I definitely think there's still a place for it, therapy also is a disease model. So for a lot of us, we don't need something that intense. And coaching will tell you, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is working exactly the way it's supposed to work. And it makes sense when you think this, it comes out this way. So let's just look at the way you're telling the story. Let's look at what you're putting into your brain and help it spit out something that helps you. Because your brain's fine. The story is just kind of not awesome. So that's why I switched over to coaching versus therapy, because I didn't like being told something was wrong with me all of the time. I know that there are so many women out in the world who are smiling out at a place like this, taking their kids places, but when they get home, they're like, is this all there is? I thought it would be different than that. I want my turn. I want my turn to have my needs met. I want my turn to have the thing that I want to have happen. And they think that it can't happen. And I know that it can, and I know that it's not that far away. And when women start taking what they want, then their whole family is better. Their whole family does better. Their daughters get to see an example of that so they don't have the same challenges when they wake up. And it just strengthens families. And that's one of my core values, is the family unit. And I know that helping the mother, the wife be happier in that place, which I know can happen, that's a dream come true for me.
So in that origin story, you see how that client began on their journey and why it's so important to them to continue on their journey. The origin story is powerful because it shows your client where you started and where you are now, how you can get to that place, how they can get to that place. Now, at the end of the origin story, you want it to be about your client. You want it to be about how they can get this same transformation. So as you're thinking about your origin story, think about how they are like you and you are like them. Offer a way that they are seeing themselves in your story, in your origin story.
I was kind of at a high point in my life. My first marriage had ended not so well, and then I got remarried and I kind of found like man of my dreams situation. And we were coming back from a trip that we had taken together and we had a flat tire. Stubborn man that he was, he wanted to change that flat tire and not call AAA. So as he was trying to get the tire out of my trunk, a driver who we later found out had meth and alcohol in his system didn't see us, didn't see our hazard lights, and just crashed right into the back of our cars. And so, within like 12 hours, my life went from, way high to way low, the bottom, in fact. So I never really intended to do grief work, but it was my own grief experience that led me to this. That's why I do what I do, is because I know what it's like to be in that place where you think your best days are totally behind you and you really can't imagine how you're ever going to be truly happy again.
The second story I like to think about is the mission story. So a mission story can be very similar to an origin story, but it might be just a little bit different. The mission story is talking more about your vision of the world, why you are doing the things that you're doing, how you want this thing that you're offering to change the world. It could be as simple as, I want my clients to feel more free in the time that they have, to feel more free with the money that they have or in their body that they have. But that is a change for them. It is a mission for you, but it is a change for how your client will feel.
There was a moment when we sent the boxes out. Oh my God, I can't say it without crying. We sent the boxes out, and in the video in the box, I talk about 200K is just the beginning of $2 million. And Amy Latta's sons looked at her and said, "Mom, you're gonna make $2 million. They were so excited. And I bawled my eyes out at her post. That is everything. The only experience that I grew up with is not having money. The only experience I knew about the world was money is hard. It's not available for us. There are things in the world and experiences in the world that aren't available to us, and that it will be difficult and strenuous for us to earn it. That was my experience as a child. So when I see Amy's kids watch Amy have a different experience, and then I know that they will now have a different experience because Amy's experience is different, that to me speaks to the child that I was. They're gonna have possibility that I never had, that so many children don't have. And so many of these women in this mastermind have kids. And forever that will be all of their experiences, is watching not just their parents, not just their family have money, but their mom have money. Even Jackie, just now being told that the only way that she can have a baby is, the solution to that is take less money.
You would do 6K for 3 months? What?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
If it makes you feel better, you can do 3 months for 3K, but why would you do a price reduction? That's lame. You joined the 200K mastermind.
I have some thoughts that I'm clearing up about
it's
yoga
interesting.
teachers.
I really don't want you to take a pay cut because it will fuel the belief that all women have is I have to take a pay cut to have a baby, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, that could make me cry. That's exactly what I wanted you to say. Sorry. I listened to a podcast this morning talking about how to take a mat leave as an entrepreneur, and it was just take less profit.
That's some bullshit. Not in this group.
Okay, so I can do both.
Yeah. Why is that the solution? Men don't take less money because they have kids. We shouldn't take less money either. We can make more money in less time and still have kids. Like, that's actually the result that's available, is work less, make more. Like, watching her mind blow when I'm like, no, you're not charging less for selling 3 months instead of 6 months. You're going to keep that price. You're just going to deliver less coaching. You're going to make more money in less time, and you're going to have a baby. Like, watching her brain explode. Now she's going to go teach her children that. Like, if she has a daughter, that daughter's experience of the world from the very beginning will not be that I have to take less to be a mom. And because I want to be a mom, like, that's not the reality I want. I want to keep helping people, and I want to make money, and I want to keep making more money as I grow my family. Like, I want to have more of everything. I want to have more love, more time, more money, and I want all of my students to have the same.
In his book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek often talks about how people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And that is powerful in the mission story, to think about why you are doing the thing that you're doing and how that works in people's lives.
Listen, you get one life as far as I know. One chance to go all in and bet on yourself. To do something that makes you come alive. You don't have to be all together or perfect to show up big, to make a contribution. If you are being called to do more, you know it. You've known it for a while, maybe your whole life. Your desire is your map of where you need to go, of who you need to be. You can come with us or you can wait, but we're going. We're going to go live the lives we are meant to live. We're going to use our courage to overcome our fear, our doubt, and our confusion. Because when it's all said and done, we will never regret the chances we took believing in ourselves. We are doing this. We are the Life Coach School. You coming?
And the third type of story that I feel is very powerful is the result story. This is the results that your clients are getting, the thing that happens in their lives, how their lives are different because they've worked with you. So sometimes this might be in the form of a testimonial. This might be in the form of a story about the client. It might be them saying those words themselves. It might be you telling the story about how this client went from A to B. For example,
I remember I was walking down the hall and it just kind of a light bulb went off and I was like, no wonder you hate yourself. You're the meanest person I know. You are the meanest person to yourself. Like, you're nice to your kids, you're nice to everybody else. It's yourself. And no wonder you don't like yourself. You're freaking mean. You're terrible. Something had happened. I don't even remember what had happened. And I told my husband, like, we are horrible parents. And I just went off about us. And he was like, you're not a horrible mom. And he's like, and I'm not a horrible dad. And I was like, what? Like, you don't just beat the crap out of yourself all the time? I thought it was normal. I thought everyone lived with like this super horrible inner critic person or inner bully that just like beat the crap out of you. The achievements I've done were done out of being mean to myself. Like, it was out of criticism that I went back and got my master's. It was out of criticism that I lost weight. It was out of criticism, inner criticism to myself of how I was achieving all these things in my life. I mean, down to like a clean house and my kids' laundry smelling good. Like, everything I was doing in my life was out of, I suck and I needed to do better and I'm a lame-o. And I did not even think or realize there was a better way. I wouldn't say I was like non-functioning or, you know what I mean? Like, I knew there was more and I was really caught up in my head. One reason I think Brooke's program is like amazing is, I mean, I have a master's degree in psychology. I studied this for so long trying to figure all this stuff out. I've read so many self-development books and self-help books. I analyze and I reanalyze, but there was never like a how that I discovered. And so I think that's what her program like is what blew my mind is not only does she talk about it, but it's the actual like how, and it's not like unattainable. Like you can completely do it yourself, and she takes you step by step by step of how to do it. And now I look at the thoughts and I can separate myself and take the drama out of it, and then I decide what story do I want to, like, do I want to feel bad? I'm able to completely control everything without anything outside of me changing. No matter where you are, your circumstances, your way, I mean, your education, it doesn't matter where you are, you can take this and apply the exact same steps that all of us apply, and it works. It absolutely works.
So in a results story, we see the results that your clients get from working with you. This is powerful because it gives social proof, for one thing. It allows people to say, oh, I'm like that person, and that person got change. That person got transformation from working with this coach or this entrepreneur.
Well, it was more like desperation. I was desperate.
What the hell? What the hell? Like, I cannot be in the same place this time next year, so I'm gonna go for it.
It's either this or remain where you are. So this coaching outweighed remaining where you were. So that's how I made the decision.
But when I started coaching with Brig, I realized it wasn't just lack of initiative. It was that I needed to really understand myself. I needed to be self-compassionate. I had come from a life and a background of achievement and going to the best schools, going to the best grad programs, having the best job, working, I worked for the #1 cancer hospital in the world, like always having best. And so realizing that pressure got me there, but that pressure wasn't kind to me.
To be a high-achieving Black woman is to be alone. And I think for most of my adolescence, I felt alone in my pursuits and my dreams. And so this community and investing in myself is my continuous commitment to give myself that space for growth and development, to be with other people who get it without me having to even explain myself.
Even though we're Black women, there are things that we don't discuss amongst ourselves and that we hide from ourselves, and we feel shame about it. And then we're in a group that Brig has made us feel safe and heard and comfortable being uncomfortable.
Every single time I talk about Brig, she asks me a question, and she asked me, who are you? And I was like, oh, I'm a mom, I'm gonna just start rolling off these titles. And she was like, well, who are you without all of that? And I just looked at her with a blank stare, and I was like, what are you talking about? Who am I? I didn't even say I'm a human being. I couldn't even give myself that. That's how much I had given my life so much into other people's to avoid going into my own self and seeing who I was.
With coaching a Brig and helping me to get through some barriers that have been holding me back for literally 20 years, I actually found a relationship.
With Brig, I've just really learned the power of boundaries, and I can still love someone and see the highest good in them and also have boundaries on, like, not everybody gets a backstage pass.
Brig always talks about creating your epic shit. And I can't think of a better way to set yourself up for creating your epic shit than to work on your mind and your mindset so that you're clear and that you're able to actually achieve it, because there may not be a straight line to what you're trying to achieve. And you may have to forge a whole new path for something that maybe has never been created or seen before.
If you are 99% thinking you're good and there's that 1% that you don't think you are, then you need to work with Brig. You need to work with someone who is actually gonna be able to pull out the things, very simple, very matter of fact, grammatically incorrect and all.
I think in so many spaces, high-achieving Black women aren't seen, or we're kind of behind a masquerade of different things. And so I think even just to have a space where you can come and talk through the things that We oftentimes battle alone. Like, I think Brig is the perfect person to do that. She's creating a movement.
I just have Brig to thank for the entire world. She has deeply, deeply changed my life. She has deeply changed how I view myself. The tools that she has been able to teach me have been invaluable, and I use in every area of my life.
Working with Brig is like, as a Black woman, is winning the lottery.
So recognizing the way that the origin story, the mission story, and the results to get you there with videos.